Hello, everybody. Good evening. Wherever you're watching from, wherever you're joining from, we are live here in Dublin, almost 6 p.m. local time, Irish time, Dublin. Um, I'm glad to have you around. It's a TikTok live session based on leadership and human development. Yeah, leadership and human development. It helps people to live. It helps people. This TikTok live is designed to help people live a life of purpose, a life of victory, and a life of fulfillment. A life of purpose, a life of victory, and a life of fulfillment. It's a 60 minutes TikTok live session, and my name is Dapsy. I am here live in Dublin, Ireland, almost 6 p.m. local time. Thank you for joining. Damn, Friday. Thank you for joining. It's nice to have you. This session is not promising. It is a life transforming session. It's a 60 minute session. It's a life transforming one. No matter the time you spend here, I'm always going to reiterate this, that no matter the time you spend in here, no matter how little the time you spend here, you're definitely not going to regret it. Something is going to be deposited in you. Definitely. You're going to become better. Whatever you are able to listen to, you're able to catch from this session, 60 minute TikTok live session, I tell you, I'm not promising, it's sure that you are not going to remain the same. I mean, you are going to become better in your understanding about life. Yeah. My name is Dapsy. You're welcome to the live session. So in the meantime, just enjoy the background music that is going on there. Enjoy the background music going on. If you can hear me clearly, you can give a thumbs up. If you can hear me clearly, you can give a thumbs up. It's not cares. Thank you for joining. Yeah, you can do well to share to your friends around. Yeah, you can do well to just hit the like button, to show some love. Yeah, you can do well. Once again, I welcome you all to today's TikTok live session. It's a leadership and human development TikTok live session. Remy Kunta, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I see you. This is a leadership and human development TikTok live session designed to help people live a life of purpose, a life of victory, and a life of fulfillment. This session, leadership and human development TikTok session, is designed to help people live a life of purpose, live a life of victory, and a life of fulfillment. I tell you, if this three is captured in the life of humans, in the life of you, if it's captured, you will be happy. In fact, you'll be more than happy. You will not want to resent anybody. You wouldn't want to show any form of resentment towards anybody. If someone is doing better than you, you'll be confident and you'll be stable in your own self. You'll be content in yourself. That's the truth. You will love everyone. You will love people. You will not compete. You will not compete with people. You won't compete unhealthily. That's the truth. It's the absence of fulfillment, absence of purpose, sense of purpose that is making, that's making people around the world, that is causing all this, crooks, perverse, and all of these ill actions in the society today. It is the absence of purpose, sense of victory, and sense of fulfillment. If these three, if they are absent in humans' life, it will cause a lot of things, a lot of heal in the society. And that is what this TikTok live session is designed to do. This, sorry for, Anatole, thank you for joining. Carl, thank you for joining. Steph, thank you for joining. This is a leadership and human development TikTok live session, and it's designed to help people live a life of purpose, a life of victory, and a life of fulfillment. My name is Dapsy, and I'm here live in Dublin, Ireland, 6 p.m. local time. Thank you for joining. So today, like I said earlier, like for those who are just joining, I said when you no matter time you spend in this session, even if it is 5 minutes, even if it is 10 minutes, I tell you, you are going to pick something tangible and that will make you better. That will make you a better person. Becoming a better person is not a one-off system. It's not a one-off session. It's a gradual thing. It's a step by step, page by page, chapter by chapter, day by day, week in, week out. As you learn, as you submit to learning, you have to be humble. As you submit yourself to learning, then you become better. You evolve and become a better person. Becoming a better person in the society, becoming a valuable and a productive person in the society, it takes process. It's a process. It's not one-off. So as you subject yourself, you humble yourself to learn, then you evolve. You evolve out of your former self. This is part of the learning process. It's a part of the learning curve. That's what you're doing right now. I'm telling you, it's not a promise. I'm telling you that when you stay here, it doesn't matter the time you spend here. Even if it is 5 minutes out of the 60 session, I tell you, you're going to become better than you were before you joined this session. I'm telling you, it's not a promise. And tonight, we'll be looking at goal and objective. Grace, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for joining. I might not be able to pronounce your name correctly, but thank you all for joining. So today, we will be discussing goal and objective. Goal and objective. Honestly, for you to, to set a vision, remember, this session is designed to help people live a life of purpose, live a life of victory, and live a life of fulfillment. So now, we are talking to this subject matter is goal and objective. Goal and objective. Bukola, thank you for joining. Val, thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. Aaron, thank you for joining. You see, today's subject matter is goal and objective. And I said that if you set a purpose for yourself, you have to, break it down into what we call goal and objective. Yeah. You have to set the purpose. In the purpose is vision. Purpose is knowing what you are born to do or knowing what you're supposed to do. That's a purpose. Whatever purpose means for you, you knowing what you're supposed to do is purpose. Then vision is you seeing that purpose. When you see it, then it becomes vision. It becomes an image. You can see it. You see that I'm just breaking it down for you. Then in the vision, in your vision, that which you already saw to do, then you break it down, further down into goals and objectives so they can be easily surmountable. So you can easily achieve. So whatever purpose, whatever vision that you've set for yourself, you have to further break them down into goal and objective. That is our subject matter today. You're all welcome. You're all well. Our subject matter is goal and objective. So you see people, you find people, they set visions for themselves. If for example, in the new year, they set visions for themselves, and then they see 6 months down the year, they find themselves not have achieved anything. It's just like a white elephant project setting for themselves. So they find out that they have not even achieved anything out of the goal set for themselves. The vision set. It's the thing that is missing. One of the things missing there is the absence of a realistic goal and objective. They couldn't set goals and objectives. They could not break that vision. They couldn't break it further down into bits, achievable bits. So today we're going to be, dissecting and bisecting how you can achieve your vision, your purpose. The purpose is always large and hazy. It's not always that clear at the beginning. So you need to further break them down into goal and objective. And that is what we're here today for. So sit back, relax yourself as we go on the ride. Mohammed, thank you for joining. William, Murphy, thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. So let's quickly dive into what we're here for today. So I define goal. Today's topic is goal and objective. And I define goal to be is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Goal is not vision and it's not purpose. I define purpose for you. It's not part of what we're discussing today, but purpose is knowing what you are supposed to do. You knowing it. That's purpose. Then vision is seeing what you're supposed to do. You see it. When you know it, then you see it. You visualize it. That's vision. But now, in between, under this vision, the purpose vision, you have, under this purpose and vision, you have goals and objective. You break them further down into goal and objective. And I define goal for you as a set of tasks within a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Please, I want you to listen painstakingly to what I'm saying. I want you to pay rapt attention, because this thing has robbed so many visions of actualization. This that I'm about to share to you has robbed so many people, has made so many people set pace, set standard for themselves that are unachievable, that they find out at the end of the day they get frustrated. But today, listen to what I'm about to say. What goal is, how to achieve your goals and objectives, how to further break your purpose, how to further break your visions down into bits of goals and objectives. That is why we're here today. Robin, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Annette, thank you for joining. So I said goal is a task, is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Goal is a set of tasks to be, if you have something, you can write it down. You can write it down. Goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Objective is the specifics of the task to be achieved within a goal. Goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision, while objective is the specifics to be achieved within a goal. Objective is, you see, the difference, is the simple difference though, but it's very, very effective. The difference between goal and objective, do you know the difference? Is specificity. Specificity. You see, vision, it starts from your purpose, then it starts down to vision. You see it, your purpose, knowing what to do, what you're supposed to do. Then it comes down to vision, then you see it. Then you break it down into goals. That's, so the vision is always hazy. I'm still going to that. It's always, it's always large. You see, when I say vision, please, I don't want you to just picture something very large. For example, okay, for example, at work, you are given a task to do at work. That's it. That's a purpose. You are given a task to do at work. So you want to further break it down into something that you can easily achieve, that can be achievable. Because sometimes when you're given a task, the task might seem so large and then even scary. But that is why the goal and objective principle is very important, is essential. So you have to break it down. You break it further down so it can be easy for you to approach. So I said goal is the set of tasks to be achieved within a vision, while objective is the specific of the task to be achieved within a goal. So the difference between goal and objective is being specific, is the specificity of your objective. So when you break goals further down, then you have what? Objectives. Within I'm going to cite examples for us. When you break your goals further, you see, I want you to pay attention to this key principle that I'm giving out. When you pay further attention to your goals, then you further break them down into objectives. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Oh, this is my so time to so time. This is what I'm supposed to do. Your time management. You manage your time. By so time to so time, this is what I'll be doing. So time, this is what I'll be doing. It's a further breakdown. Don't undermine what I'm saying. Because you see, as simple as this thing might sound, it has robbed so many of their tasks, purposeful tasks, life transforming tasks that they're supposed to embark on. It seems so large to them at the beginning because it's so big, it's gigantic. They lack the principle to break these things down into goals and objectives. So that is why I'm bringing to your light, I'm bringing to your understanding this subject matter, goals and objectives. So I define goal to be a set of tasks to be achieved within a goal, within a vision. Goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision, while objective is the specifics of the tasks to be achieved within a goal. I said here also that goal is a broad vision, is a broad view of a vision. Yeah, is a broad view, while objective is a breakdown of the goals into achievable and reasonable bits per time, per season. So I gave an instance here. For instance, if is to your vision is about relationship and marriage. For instance, you have a vision of relationship and marriage. That is for people to ensure that people marry rightly, they enjoy a blissful marriage, and they raise a godly home. That's a vision. Your vision is to ensure that you want to make sure that people marry rightly and that people enjoy their marital life and then they raise godly home. That is a vision that you have set for yourself. So then, how do you approach it? It's large. So how are you going to do that? So your goals will be, in this that I just said as an example, your goal will be that I want to ensure that people, one, that they marry rightly. Two, that people, they enjoy their marriage. Then three, that people raise godly homes. All those three tasks, they are different. Even though they are interrelated, they are different. Marrying right is different from enjoying your marriage, is different from raising godly home, is different from raising godly home. So out of these three, you have set three goals for yourself. You see that? The vision is relationship and marriage, successful relationship and marriage. You see? So in this vision, you have goals that you set, which is ensuring that people marry rightly, people enjoy their marriage, and they raise godly homes. You see that? So out of these three, you have to break it down. Out of these three goals, you still have to further break it down because there's an approach. There's a way you approach it. Who are your niche of audience? Who are you? Who will be your audience? Who are the people that you'll be speaking to? Is it the children? Is it the teenagers? Is it the adults, young adults, or is it the older generation? So you look out for your niche of audience. All of these things put together, they help you to break your vision into goals and further down into objectives. How do I harness? How do I form a community? But the first thing, I haven't set a vision. The first thing is to become whatever you want to produce. Now, my vision is into relationship and marriage. I want to ensure people marry rightly, people enjoy their marriage, and people raise godly homes. So what is your task? What will be your goal? Your goal first is to become what you want to produce. Your goal first thing is to become that which you want to produce, because you can't give what you don't have. Yes. So that's your first task. You have to set the goals for yourself, your time management, your own research, your own becoming. You see that? You have to become that which you want to produce. That's the first task. So you have to find a way of managing yourself. You set the goals for yourself. You break this vision down into bits of goals, like a bullet point. And even at that, this bullet point, they still need to be further broken down into objectives. For example, the goal one is to ensure that people marry rightly. That's your goal one. Your goal one is to ensure that people marry rightly. Then under that goal, you have objectives. How do I want to make people marry rightly? What are the policies? What are the programs that I want to set up? What are the programs I want to set up to ensure that people marry rightly? Who are my audience? Who are the people that I want to speak to? Who are the people that I want to build up? Who are the people? How do I get these people together? Where do I find them? These are the objectives under the goal to ensure that people marry rightly. Then the other goal is that I want to ensure that people who marry rightly, they enjoy their marriage. One thing is to marry rightly. Another thing is to enjoy your marriage. You have to work on it. So how do I ensure that people, so what are the things that I want to set down? What are the goals? What are the programs that I want to set? How am I going to approach this to ensure that people enjoy, they develop the attitude to work on themselves? While even in marriage, you have to work, you can't be complacent. So how do I communicate this? These are the objectives. You set up plans, you set up programs, interesting programs that can catch your audience. You see, these are the further breakdown of the objectives that we're talking. This called objective is not the goal, it's the specificity of your goal. That is objective. The specificity of your goal is your objective. And another goal, the third goal, is that you want to ensure that people raise a godly home. They raise godly home, even though they are married rightly, even though they are enjoying their marriage, their marital life. You want to ensure that these people, they raise godly homes. That's another goal. Then you set the objectives under that goal. Please, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. You set the objectives down. You break it down a bit. You break it down so it can be easily approached. I want to cite another example. For instance, your vision is to research. Your vision is to discover and create the cure medication for cancer. This is another interesting vision. Your vision that you want to discover, you want to research and discover the medication to cure cancer. So what would be your approach, your goals and objective? You have set the vision, you have cast the vision that I want to discover, I want to find the cure to this deadly disease, to this deadly illness, cancer. That is my vision. That's my vision. That's my purpose. So how do you break this gigantic? Because it's large. It's easy to say that I want to become this, I want to do this, but how do you further break them down? How do you achieve this vision of yours, this purpose that you have seen, that you have envisioned? How do you achieve it? It's the principle. One of the principles amongst many is to ensure, is to approach it with the principle of goal and objective. You break them down into goal and objective. So, as I said, for instance, you are saddled with the responsibility. You have a burden on your heart as a vision that you want to discover the cure for cancer, the deadly disease, cancer. Then what will be your goal? That's the vision you casted. So what will be your goal? So your goal, your core goal out of this vision, which is large, you want to discover, you want to research and discover the cure to cancer, is a large goal, is a large vision. Is a large vision, rather. A large vision. So how do you further break this thing down? First of all, you must identify, you break it down into goals and objectives. So what is the goal? The goal is cancer cure. Target, cancer cure. Then you now further break this goal down into objectives, smaller bits. You break it into bits. For instance, research, personal research. For instance, joint research. I have to do personal research. I have to, collaborate with other researchers. I have to, synergize, borrow from their knowledge. They borrow from, so we combine, we bounce ideas, we bounce knowledge together. You collaborate. That's a joint research. And then also, if you are doing such a thing, there will be travel. You might want to travel. You travel, your expedition, travel on expedition. All of these things, they are bits that you have further broken your goals down into objectives so they can be achievable. What are we discussing? What are we saying? What am I saying all this while? We're talking about goal and objective. For those who are just joining, Adrian, thank you for joining. Annette, thank you for joining. Oluwabukala, thank you for joining. I really appreciate. What are we discussing? This session is a leadership and human development TikTok live session. Leadership and human development TikTok live session. And it is tailored towards helping people to live a life of purpose, to live a life of victory, and then to live a life of fulfillment. And today's topic is goal and objective. Goal and objective. And I said that if we are always people of purpose. If you are not purposeful, it takes away the sense of living from you. It takes away. It makes you not see the reason to continue to live. If your purpose is taken away from you. So I believe that people that I'm speaking to, they are people of purpose, because that's what this TikTok session is about. So you have a purpose, and that purpose could be something, your job at your workplace. It could be given a task. It could be that. It's not necessarily has to be a very large purpose, or probably something you're looking out for in the next 20 years or 10 years or 5 years. No, not there. That's not what I'm talking about. It could be anything, a task that you want to achieve, something that you set for yourself. That could be a vision. Yes. So your purpose, then when you see it, your purpose is knowing what you want to do, then knowing what you're supposed to do or what you want to do, I'm just breaking it down in a very simple language. Then the vision is to see that which you know to do. You have seen it. That's the vision. Then if you want to achieve this too, your purpose and your vision, you want to achieve it, you have to further break them down into goal and objective. Further breakdown. This will help you. It will help to minimize any form of fear or any form of scare. You less dread it because it has been further broken down into bits of goals and objectives. You see that? So, and I cited an example that, okay, for instance, if your goal, if your vision is to ensure that people have a blissful marriage, marry rightly, and then raise godly homes, you have to what? You have to ensure that you break this further down into goals and objectives. Your goal, your vision is relationship and marriage. Then your goal is marrying right. You marry rightly. Then you enjoy your marriage. And 3, you raise godly homes. These are the 3 goals in this vision. And then you further break each of the goals down into objectives, so they can be easily achievable. You can easily approach them, and they are crystal clear as to what you want to do. Then I cited another example that, for instance, your vision is to ensure that you want to discover a cure medication to the deadly disease cancer. That's your vision. You want to discover a cancer cure. You want to discover a cancer cure. Then how do you approach it? You have to set the goal. This is the goal. And then you further break the goals down into objectives. For instance, objectives like, okay, you're going to do your personal research. You have to collaborate a joint research. You have to travel, expedition. You go on research, traveling around the world for just to locate wherever the vaccine or wherever the ingredients or wherever the ingredient is located in the earth. You travel around the world, expedition. These are further breakdown of your goal to achieve that vision or the purpose which you have envisioned. I wrote here that as a million mile steps begin with a step. A million mile step begin with a step is also goals and objective. Is also a million mile steps. It will seem gigantic. Your vision, your task will seem so large, but I tell you, it begins with a step. It always begins with a step. Once you take that step, then you have reduced the number of steps to achieving that goal. You see that? So that is exactly what we're discussing tonight, is goal and objective. Your vision, your purpose, you have broken it further down into goal and objective. So I wrote here that is a million step begin with a step. A million step begin with a step. A million mile begin with a step. A million mile begin with a step. Yeah. I wrote here that most times a large task will scare you and seem unsurmountable. A large task, usually, it will scare us. When you see something large, you'll be pissed off. You will get pissed off when you see something large. And it will seem unachievable. For instance, in 1961, that was the early 1960s, when the expedition to land the people on the moon, the US wanted to land, as President John F. Kennedy wanted to land, when he launched the project to first land humans on the moon and then return them back safely to the earth. That project, initially, it seemed impossible. That project seemed impossible. Then later, it became improbable. Then later, it becomes probable. Then later on, it became possible. And then that vision was accomplished in 1969. So what are we talking about? That vision, as large as it was then, the vision to successfully land humans on the moon and then to return them back successfully to the earth, seemed so impossible at first because it was so large, but they devised the principle of goal and objective to further break that gigantic vision, to further break it down into goal and objective. Then the vision that seemed large and impossible, that's that of landing humans successfully on the moon and returning them back to the earth, that seemed almost impossible. Further, when it was broken down into goals and objectives, it became improbable. Then further down, it became probable. Then later on, it became possible. And then history was made in 1969. You see that? So I'm tying that to, for you to know that it is good to adopt this principle of breaking your vision. Whatever task that you are asked to do, you need to break it down into goal and objective. That's the crux. The crux of tonight's subject is to further break your vision, break it down into, I'm going to show you, you break it down into goal and objective. This was one of the key principles that was adopted by the US NASA agents, the NASA agents that went to the moon successfully, and then they returned back also to the earth successfully. That's just an example. So you can also devise this method in whatever goal, in whatever task, in whatever vision that you have, that you have proposed in your heart to do. So I'm going to talk also on why the principle of goal and objective. Why is this principle? Why is it important? If you listen to me from the beginning, I've said one of two things about it, but I would like to just be specific now on it. Now, why the principle of goal and objective? Why should we take cognizance of this principle, key principle, goals and objective? The number one thing why you should keep goals and objective is to break down large visions into smaller chunks of achievable tasks within a time frame. To break down large vision into smaller chunks of achievable tasks within a time frame. That is to say, you have said this earlier, that you break your vision, you break it down into smaller bits of achievable goal or achievable task within a time frame. You must attach time to it. You don't just set goals. You don't break your vision down into goals without attaching time to it. It's time that gives you a coordinate. It's time that shapes you, that sets the pace, the time. You must attach time to it. It must not be open. I mean, your goal, you don't break your vision down into goals without time attached to it. You must set the time with which you propose to achieve this particular task. You see that? Goal and objective. Why the principle of goal and objective? First, number one is to break down large vision into smaller chunks of achievable tasks within a time frame. The important key words there is that smaller chunks, achievable within a time frame. Smaller chunks, achievable, and within a time frame. You must set time to it. It's very important. So think of any task that you want to do now, any task that you have on your desk, whatever task that you have on your table, office work, your business, your personal ambition, your aspiration that is before you now, that is on your table. I want you to break that vision. It's large. The vision is hazy. Sometimes it's even unclear. It's not crystal enough. So break it down into goals. Now I want us to be practical now. Break them down because that's the essence of this key principle that we're discussing tonight. That's goal and objective. Now, I want you to set that vision that seems unclear. Sometimes the vision is large, it seems unclear. And when I say vision, I mean the task that is before you. Whatever task that is before you, that's the vision I'm talking about. So break that vision, that task, break it down into goal. And then you have to attach time to it. Goal and objectives. Why goal and objective? Number one is to break down large visions into smaller chunks of achievable tasks within a time frame. Number two, why the principle of goal and objective? To reduce or remove haziness from large task onto clarity. To remove is to reduce or to remove haziness. Haziness, honestly, when something is large, you find it so unclear. It seems so hazy, so cloudy, because there are so many debris around it. So many debris around this large chunk, large, vision. There's so many, haziness, this uncertainty around it. But when you further break them down, then they are crystallized. They become clearer. You see that? They become clearer. So number two, why the principle of goal and objective? Number two is to reduce or remove haziness from large task onto clarity. It makes the vision or the task, it makes it clearer. You know what to do. You know what to do. You know where to go. You know what step to take. If your task is not clear, you are not yet, you are not good to go yet. If your task is not understood by you, if you don't have an understanding of the task before you, if it is still hazy, then you won't be able to approach that task properly as you should. So that is why the key of goal and objective. What is that goal before you? What is that task? What is that vision before you? What is the task before you? Break it down into goal and objective. I said goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision, while objective is a specific task to be achieved within a goal. The difference between goal and objective is the specificity, the specificness, or the specificity within the objective. That's what makes the difference between a goal and objective. There is specificity in between. There's specificity in between. You have to be more specific. So now, what is that vision before you? What is the task before you? Break it down into goal. Then further break it down into objectives. Break them down into objectives. These are the way to approach. Don't undermine this that I'm telling you. Don't undermine it. As simple as it sounds, as small or probably as so almost undeniable as it sounds, I want you to take cognizance of it. Because it is in little things that success and excellence is made. It is in little things that we tend to ignore, that excellence is built. When you pay attention to those little things, then you build your excellence. You become excellent. Things that people would naturally wouldn't pay attention to, you pay attention to it. That is where excellence come out from. Thank you all for joining. God, Sunshine, Idrit, Eddie, Annette. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much. So we're talking why the principle of goal and objective. So number one, to break down large vision into smaller chunks of achievable tasks within a time frame. Number two, to reduce or remove haziness from large tasks onto clarity. Then number three is to surmount the fear of large scale of tasks. Another essence is to surmount the fear of large scale task. Large scale task is always fearful. It will scare one away. True. When you are confronted with a large scale of task, a vision that is large, you almost want to, avoid it. But when you further break it down, that is the essence of this principle, goal and objective. When you break it down, it will take away the fear. Then you see it in a bit. You see it in bits. Then you can easily approach it. You can easily approach it. It takes away the fear. It takes away the dread. To surmount the fear of large-scale task is to take away the dread, to take away the fear of a large-scale task. That's why we break them down in goals and objectives. Then number four is why the principle of goal and objective. Number four is to build and to develop courage to get a task done. Getting a smaller task done successfully, it said builds confidence and courage to get the rest done. You see, this simply means that when you are able to achieve the smaller bits of goal, it will encourage you. It will give you confidence to approach more, to do more. It will strengthen you to approach it and then to build or to surmount this bit task, the rest of the task that you have broken into bits. The essence is that it builds and develops your courage. It strengthens you, because getting a smaller task done successfully will encourage you, will strengthen you to approach the rest of the smaller task. That's what it does. That's what it does. I'll read it again. Why the principle of goals and objectives to build and develop courage to get a task done. I said getting a smaller task done successfully builds confidence and courage to get the rest done. Once you get the smaller ones, once you get the bits that you have broken it into, when you get them done, it will encourage you, it will strengthen you to approach the rest. That is it. So that's the essence of goal and objective. So now, the next thing that I want us to know, which is the core of today's subject matter, is that why people do not meet goals and objectives. Why do people do not meet goals and objectives? Why do people not meet their goals and objectives? People make resolutions. People make up their mind. Oh, I'm going to do this. And at the end of the day, they betray themselves. Why do people not, why people are not, why is that people are not able to meet up their goals and objectives? Why? Why is it that people can't fulfill their vision? We know that sometimes it could be laziness, sometimes it could be, lack of, resilience, all of those, characteristics of success. But let us look at it critically from the point of goals and objective. Let's look at it from the perspective of goal and objective. I wrote here that number one is because people set unrealistic goals and objectives. People set unrealistic goals and objectives. The question is, why do people not meet their goals and objectives? Because people set unrealistic, gigantic goals just to show off. Some people set goals just to show off. They talk about their goals. They talk about their visions just to show off in the society, because they believe they perceive that people love, or they love to hear people who are visionaries, who are visionaries, or who are visionary. Let me use the word visionary. People want to hear about, hear from people who are visionary. I mean, who can see things, who can set the pace, even though they don't achieve it. So why do people envision and not achieve it? They envision and they don't achieve it. Why? I said it's because they set unrealistic goal. That is to say, they are emotional about it. They want to achieve the goal the way they feel. They want to achieve it very quickly and the way they feel. That's the way they approach the vision. They approach the task. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. You have to, be calm. You have to be calm to set the goal for yourself. You have to be calm. You don't set the goal emotionally because I want to quickly achieve this thing, or I want to feel good in the midst of people. No, you don't do that. You don't set goal because of that. You don't set goal emotionally. You have to be rational setting goals. You have to be rational setting your goals. You don't set goals emotionally. I wrote here that they want to get it done quickly as they wish and they feel. I said setting a goal demands discipline. Discipline to be diligent. It demands discipline to be resilient. Discipline to be malleable. And discipline to be consistent, among many other things. Setting a goal, you have to be disciplined to be diligent. You have to be disciplined to be consistent. You have to be disciplined to be malleable. That is, you are open to positive change. These are the things. You don't just set goals for yourself emotionally, the way you feel at that moment, the way you feel, and you want to quickly get it done. You set it large for yourself. No. Why people don't meet their task, why people don't meet their objective, their goals and their objective, why do people not meet it? It's because they emotionally set goals. They emotionally set goals and objectives for themselves. How they feel at that moment, and they want to quickly get it done. They just set a large, unrealistic goal for themselves, which is wrong. It takes discipline. It takes discipline to be diligent. It takes discipline to be consistent. It takes discipline to be malleable, to be open to positive change for you to set goals. You have to think of that. That's one. Why people do not meet goals and objectives, amongst many others. And number two, I said it is because they are not brutally honest with themselves. Please, I want you to listen to this properly. It's because people are not brutally honest with yourself. Some people set goals using other people's standard, not their own standard. Some people set goals for themselves, goals and objectives for themselves, based using another person's standard. It's wrong. It's wrong. You don't set goals for yourself based on someone else's standard. You don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself with anyone else. Don't, because this person is, moving at a fast pace or moving at a speed that seems so, so enviable to you. You want to set your own goal and objective based on what you see other people do. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. You don't do that. Set your goal based on your own brutal honesty. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. That, okay, this goal, I want to set it in bits, this vision, I want to set it in goals and objectives. And which one will I be able to achieve? You have to be brutally honest with yourself. For you to be able to set goal and objective and achieve it, you have to be first honest. Don't set goals that will be emotional. No, set goals, not using someone else's standard. Set goals based on your own personality. Can I achieve this within this time frame? And be brutally honest with yourself. Can I do this? Can I meet up with this task that I have set for myself? A day, so hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours for this session, 2 hours for this. Can I meet up with this? Or would it be 30 minutes that will be okay for me for a start? Even if it is 15 minutes for a start, don't set goal and objective for yourself based on someone else, based on someone else's standard. Use your personality. Be very brutally honest with yourself to set the goal and objective. This is the reason why people don't meet their goals and objectives. They set it large, and at the end of the day, they are not able to meet up, and they get frustrated, and they just abandon the goal, they abandon the task, especially when it comes to their own personal life. So what is that task that is before you? I admonish you all, what is that task that is before you? I want you to set a realistic goal for yourself, not based on emotion, based on discipline. Think that, am I disciplined enough to be diligent? Am I disciplined enough? What is your level of discipline? Our level of discipline differs. So what's your level of discipline? What would you be able to meet up with? Set that goal for yourself. Don't use someone else's standard. Don't use someone else's standard to set goals for yourself. So what are we discussing today? What's a summary of what we are discussing today? Today, I said we're discussing goals and objective. And goal, I said, is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision. Goal is a set of tasks to be achieved within a vision, while objective is a specific task to be achieved within a goal. The difference between goal and objective is the specificity. That's it. Objective is more specific than the goal. And when I talk about goal, that is, goal is even much more, clearer than the vision itself. I said purpose is knowing what to do, knowing what you want to do or what you are supposed to do. That's purpose in whatever form you can think of it. And I said your vision that comes after your purpose is you seeing that which you know to do, that which you already know to do, or what you know that you're supposed to do. You saw it. When you see it, that's vision. And then you have to further break this vision down for you to be able to achieve it. You further break this vision down into goals and objective. And I said goal is a set of tasks within a vision. It's more clearer, or it's much clearer rather, than the vision. While your objective is most clearer. That is, you further break these goals down into objectives. That is, you outline it, what you're supposed to do within a set goal. Why is the setting a goal? Why is the key principle of goal and objective? Why is it very important? It is because it helps to break down large visions into smaller chunks of achievable bits within a time frame. Why the key task, or why the key principle of goals and objectives? Because it helps to break down large visions into smaller chunks of achievable tasks within a time frame. And I said that that time frame is very important, that you must attach time to the little time, you must attach time to the bits, to the smaller chunks of tasks that you have broken your visions into. You must attach time to, you must set time for it. I mean, you must set time that, okay, this is achievable within this time frame. You set time to it. That's what makes the difference. That's what keeps you on toes. That's what keeps you going. And when with diligence, with discipline to be diligent, with discipline to be committed, with discipline to be consistent, and then open to a positive change, then you can achieve this goal. Amongst many others, you can achieve these goals and objectives. Sarah, thank you for joining. Aaron, thank you for joining. Glorious, thank you for joining. Annette, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. So I said, why the principle of goal and objective? So today I want us to be practical. Whatever task that you have before you on your table, whatever task you have, I want you to go back and set goals for yourself. Set the goal and objective. Break it down. It might seem big, large, and hazy to you, and even scary sometimes. I want you to go now to those tasks before you. Break them down. You have to first break them down into goals and objectives. You have to break them down into goals and objectives. And I said, why the key principle? I said, it helps to break large chunk of vision into smaller bits of achievable tasks within a time frame. Then when you break it down, set a time to it that within this so time, I have to achieve this based on your personality. Don't set that based on someone else's standard. Set it based on what you can do. Be brutally honest with yourself. Then we said, why the key principles of goal and objective? Said to reduce or remove haziness from large chunks, from large tasks onto clarity. It removes any form of haziness, cloudiness. It makes the vision, it makes your task, it makes it much clearer. It makes your task much clearer, that then you can know, you know what to do. You know what to do. You know what step to take. That's number 2, the principle. Why the key principle of goals and objectives? Then number 3, I said to surmount the fear of large scale of task. You surmount the fear because large scale of task is always, is always gigantic and always dreadful. You will dread it because it's large and it's even unclear sometimes. So you surmount this fear, this dread, by breaking it down. This large chunk of task, you break it down into bits. You see that? Then, number 4, it leads to number 4. It said to build and to develop courage to get a task done. That is, getting those smaller chunks, those smaller bits of task. When you get one of it done, it will build you. It will encourage you. It will give you strength. It will give you the boldness, the bravery to approach other tasks, other smaller tasks that you have broken them down into. You see that? Please don't joke with this key, goals and objective. And when you are setting this goal for yourself, set it based on your personality. Number 1, don't set it based on your emotion, the way you feel at that moment. Think that, will I be disciplined enough to be diligent? Will I be disciplined enough to be consistent with this that I've set for myself as a goal? Will I be disciplined enough to be consistent? Will I be disciplined enough? Ask yourself, will I be disciplined enough to be consistent to this goal that I've set? So please don't emotionally set goals for yourself. Set it using your logic and then be honest with yourself. Then number 2, set this goal and objective, not using someone else's standard. Use your own personality, your standard, that will I be able to achieve this? It is better to set smaller goals for yourself and achieve it than set large goals and then not achieve anything. I repeat, it is better to set smaller goals for yourself, an objective, and then achieve it within the set time frame than set a large goal for yourself emotionally and then dishonestly and then not achieve it. I repeat, it is better to set smaller goals for yourself and achieve it within a time frame than to set large goals for yourself emotionally and dishonestly and not achieve it. So my admonishment for you tonight is that you go back, whatever task is before you, whatever task is on your table, I want you to go back and set achievable goals unemotionally for yourself. Set them in beats based on your personality, based on what you are capable of doing. Don't set it based on someone else's standard. Go back now and set those goals in beats. Then when you achieve those little bits, it will encourage you, it will strengthen you to do more. And before you know what, the large vision, the large task is achieved. So that is my submission for you tonight. I hope. Hello, Adam. Hello, I see you. Hi. Haman, thank you. Hannah, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you all. I believe you have learned something tonight. Today we talked about goal and objective. How you can break your large chunk of task into goal and objective, achievable one, not emotionally breaking it down into goal. No. We talked about goals and objective. How you can break your large chunk of tasks. How you can break them down into bits that are achievable within the time frame. That's the key principle of goal and objective. This is a leadership and human development TikTok live session aimed at helping people. It is designed at helping people to achieve a life of purpose, a life of victory, and a life of fulfillment. And I hope you have learned something within the 60 minutes that we had today. I hope you have gleaned something out of it, because, becoming a person of value and a person of productivity, it takes a time. It's not a one-off thing. It takes time. It's a day-to-day, week by week, line upon line, precept upon precept. You become better by the day as you submit yourself to learning. As you humble yourself to learn, then you evolve, you become better by the day. If you are intentional and you humble yourself to learn, you become better. And that is exactly what this TikTok live session is designed. My name is Dapsy, and I'm speaking to you here live in Dublin, Ireland. Local time 18:52. That's 8 minutes to 7 p.m. So we do this every Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Just a 1 hour session, 60 minutes. And wherever you're joining us from, I really appreciate your time. I hope you have learned something, and I believe we have become a better person as we grow. We all are growing as we grow and becoming a better place and a better person, and then making our society, making our nation, in wherever sphere of our endeavor is, making that place a better place, and altogether making the earth a better place to dwell, a better place to live, becoming excellent in character and in our skill, all of these put together help us to become a better person, and then our society implicitly making our society, our nation proud, making the earth a better place to live. Thank you very much. Favor, thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate. Rita, thank you for joining. I really appreciate. Thank you. So I'll see you again next Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We usually have this, and I believe you have learned something. Today's topic was goal and objective. So I admonish you all, as you go now, I want you to go set goals for yourself, achievable goals for yourself, not emotionally. Set goal based on your personality. Don't emotionally set goals for yourself. Break your vision, that large task, break it down into bits of goals and objectives, unemotionally, based on what you can do, what you are capable of doing. Be brutally honest with yourself. Then you will see that goal, that vision, that task, you see it achievable. I hope you have been able to get something today. Thank you very much for coming. So I see you again. Bukola, thank you very much for joining. I see you again. Sadba, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. So I see you again next Friday, 6 p.m. Irish local time. I remain yours truly, Dapsy. See you. Bye. Cheers.